Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You guys already know how exciting this video is going to be because today I have Colourpop It's a Mood palette. It is the newly launched Colourpop Mega palette and this is the beauty right over here. I will not say this is a first impression because I already used this palette a little bit, like I think maybe 2 or 3 times, but still I am going to review it for you all because you guys really want to see the review. I'm going to talk about this palette, I'm going to swatch it for you all, I'm going to show you the shades and every single thing and one eye makeup look as well. Let's get started. And this is what the outer packaging of the palette looks like. As you guys can see, Colourpop is written right over here, then here it is written It's a Mood. You can also see there is like a texture kind of a thing going on over here and it's quite like a matte finish. This is what it looks like and this is what the back portion looks like. You have all the shade names, you have some ingredients information. Now let's talk about the palette. So this is the palette right over here. This is the same exact packaging like the outer box. This is what it looks like. As you guys can see, it contains that same textury kind of a scaly finish to it. Over here all the shade names are written. The color of the packaging, the texture of this packaging is really beautiful and I don't know why there is something so weird that I really love touching this palette, and I don't know, it's very weird, but I really do love this matte textury finish kind of a packaging. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. Isn't it so beautiful? You don't get any mirror in this palette. I just really want Colourpop to add mirror. Like whenever they are coming up with any mega palette, they should give us a mirror. I really want a mirror. First saw this color story, I just screamed because I made a huge mistake when Colourpop So Jaded palette came out. Kathleen Light's palette, she's my favorite. Made a mistake of not purchasing that palette and it is discontinued now. I cannot get that palette anywhere. But when this palette came out, I was like, okay, I have to purchase it, and I literally, it was like 10:30, the product will go live on their website. Really want to get this palette. I told Royal Beauty to place my order super quickly and they placed my order. And the color story is something which I think I love because this is something which screams my name. This is not very extremely colorful kind of eyeshadow palette. This is intense, this is rich, this contains a richness to it and it also contains so many different shimmers, some duochromes and pressed glitters. Also contains wearable shades, especially if you are someone you want to use this palette no matter for your occasion or maybe for you are going out somewhere for your daytime look. I think this is a palette you can absolutely use. I personally use this whenever I go out for any lunch or maybe dinner. I love using this palette. So many different ways. You have so many different wearable shades and you have so many different rich, colorful, intense shades as well. I think I'm gonna play with this color story right over here, like the purples and the mauves. I think I'm gonna use this side because I already used this one, so I don't want to use it. Maybe some other eyeshadow tutorial video I will use this side. You guys can see here, starting from this golden shimmer shade till this particular deeper chocolatey brown kind of a shade. All eyeshadow contains their name on it. So I swatched this row first. Here are the swatches. So this one is the first shade, which is called Love Song, and as you guys can see, it is kind of like that duochrome shifty metallic kind of a shade which looks very pretty. It contains a yellowish plus golden kind of a shift to it. It looks so beautiful when I move my hands. It works so beautifully as a transition color. It is like a very soft matte, just a powdery kind of a shade. Maybe you can use this to set your concealer as well. This one is a peachish matte color, which is again a beautiful transition color, or you can use this one and mix it with this one. It will look great. This is called Stay Close. This is such a pretty peachish kind of like a orangish undertone kind of a shade. And then this unique muted gray shade but contains a lot more purplish undertone to it. This shade is my favorite. I love this shade so much. The color is just amazing. Again, you can use this in so many different ways. Then comes this shade, which is like very close to my skin tone. I can use this to set my concealer again. This is called You and I. It's a skin color kind of a powdery shade, matte powdery shade. Here I have the beautiful golden shimmery shade in this palette, which is known as Surrender. It is such a pretty color. It just glides on so smoothly. And now I swatched this second row right over here. So first, starting off with this intense, very orangish undertone metallic shade, and this is called Dream On. Lovely shade. Then I have Reunion. It's a pinkish champagne kind of a color. Then I have, I think, Crave You. This is a more deeper version of Stay Close, which I swatched first. This is like more orangish, more deep, more coralish it is, and this is such a beautiful color. I don't think I have seen something so beautiful. This is a duochrome shade, and this is called Thunder, and it is actually a thunder kind of a shade. Look at that close up. It is just so pretty. Greenish color. It feels like, and it is kind of like that turquoise kind of a color. It is again so beautiful. I have a pressed glitter which looks something like this. Bit of chunky glitter, and this is what the glitter looks like. Okay, now I swatched the third row, which is this one right over here. Here you have the third row, and look how rich and pigmented this palette is. So starting from this shade, which is called Midnight Run, it's a very nudish brownish shade, and it is a perfect color. I think it looks so pretty and glides on really well. And then we have this one, which is a muted pink peach kind of a color. Not a peach, it's kind of like a muted pink color, somewhat like a muted mauve undertone to it, and it is called Everywhere. This is the shade. And then you have this soft shimmery shade, which is called Full Circle. It is a very soft kind of a shade. This is what the Full Circle shade looks like. Then you have this intense purple shade, which is called Ecos, and this is what the purple one looks like. It is again very pigmented. I just swatched it once, and there you have the pigmentation. It is so intense. And the intense, I will say, if you ask me which is the most intense shade in this palette, I will say this one. This is so pigmented. This is called Don't Deny, and it is the richest deep green kind of a color I have ever seen. It is so beautiful. And then the next shade, the last one, is called Oblivion, and this is a khaki color, as you guys can see, and this is what the third row looks like. Then I swatched the fourth shade, which is this one right over here, starting with this metallic greenish undertone full shade called Wanna Go. This is going to look so good as your one and done eyeshadow. Just this shadow all over your eyelid, and that's it. You have another pressed glitter in this palette, which is called Stormy. It is a pinkish glitter. The other one was a golden one, and this one is a pink one. You have another one which I will swatch next. This is called Stormy. It's again a glittery shade, not a shimmer shade, nothing. It's intense glitter, like chunky glitter. Then you have another shade, it's called It's a Rush, and it's a orange kind of a shade. You will get so many similar kind of a shade like this in this palette, like the Stay Close one, Crave You one, and Everywhere. They all are like from the same family, like somewhat light, somewhat deep. This one is the deeper version, like this is called It's a Rush. And then you have this, how to explain this color? This is called Moves. I don't know, like a gemstone, and it like a crystal color. It looks so beautiful. It is not a shimmery shade, it is not a matte shade, it is something in the middle. It is very soft, very smooth, can be used as your one and done eyeshadow, just like this one. Such a pretty color. And then this shade, I'm gonna use this shade today. This is called For a Night. I don't have any word to explain this shade. Like, look at this and tell me this is not beautiful. Tell me you have this shade already. So unique. And then the last shade is called Surface, which is a golden color, which also contains a little bit of duochrome effect to it. It contains a greenish duochrome effect to it. And this is what the second last row looks like. The last row I swatched is like this. Contains like excessive rich color. So the first one is Our Deal, which is a deep chocolate brown kind of a color. It is such a beautiful color, especially if you want to do any smoky eye look. Then you have this deep mauvish kind of a color, which is called Fascination. It is a beautiful, rich mauve shade. Then you have another glitter shade which is called New Moon. Now this is different than other two glitters. It do contain a very like less chunkiness to it, and the other glitters are more chunky. This is what New Moon looks like. It also contains a orangish reddish undertone to it. And then the next shade is called Had to Be, which is again a deeper purplish bluish undertone kind of a color. This is what it looks like. And then you have Self Control. Now this is that exact green, but if I show you very closely, you can see glitters all over it, and that is why this shade is so pretty. Such a beautiful color. I say I haven't seen anything so beautiful like this. Mystified, I think that's how you pronounce it. And it is like not a deeper green shade, a green shade, but somewhat contains a khaki undertone to it. So swatches all done. You guys have seen how this palette actually looks. Now I'm gonna do one eyeshadow tutorial for you all. I will use my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer as my eyeshadow base. I always use this. the finished look, and this is how my eye makeup look turned out. I'm so happy how smoky, like it is the perfect eye makeup look for a palette like this, how rich and how smoky this palette is. I think this eye makeup look turned out so beautiful. I'm quickly going to zoom you guys in what the eye makeup look turned out. As you guys can see, there are like so many different colors, so much smokiness, so much blending. Really enjoyed working with this palette. I think if you ask me your favorite Colourpop palette, I think It's a Mood will be my favorite palette, just because of the fact that it is so versatile, You can use it in so many different ways, and I think if you have a question like this, that which eyeshadow palette from Colourpop, like which mega eyeshadow palette, which big eyeshadow palette from Colourpop you should pick, I will say It's a Mood. Definitely a yes from me. I have seen all other mega palettes from Colourpop, but I don't feel like it is my kind of a type. I feel like all the colors are kind of same, but this is something which is different, which you can use it in so many different ways. So yeah, this is the It's a Mood palette, and I'm leaving for a vacation, so before that this will be my last video, and after I come back I will film. It will take me a while to settle down, and yeah, that's it guys, that's it for this video. I love you guys so much. All the links will be in the description box below. Make sure to check that out. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.